Mom wants to defend my sister for stealing from me and wants to send me to military school. Hey everyone, before we dive in, I have a quick favor to ask. If you enjoy content like this, please hit the subscribe button. It's free, supports the channel, and ensures you never miss out on amazing videos. Alright, let's get started. When I was 14, about a year before my parents divorced, my younger sister had a habit of spending her allowance recklessly, mostly on makeup, mall food, video games, and clothes from Hot Topic. Unlike her, I had to earn my allowance by cleaning the house and doing yard work. My sister, on the other hand, never lifted a finger unless my dad was there to supervise her. My mom never made her do any chores either, unless it was to clean her room for extra cash. To save up for a scooter, I spent 2 years doing odd jobs around the neighborhood, such as mowing lawns and collecting discarded cans for the 5-cent deposit. By the time I had saved about $2,000, I noticed my money was disappearing. My sister knew all my hiding places and was stealing from me. One day I confronted her. "Hey sis, did you take my money again?" "What? No. You're a terrible liar. There's $100 missing from my savings." She immediately started fake crying and ran to our mom. "Mommy, bro is picking on me." I followed her. "She stole from my savings again." Mom snapped her fingers at me. "Shut up. Can't you see Mama's little girl is upset? She said she didn't do it, so she didn't do it. That's all there is to it. If you don't let this go, I'll ground you." "I know she did it, and if you don't get the money back, I'll get Dad's help," Mom scowled. "Now there's no need for that. Besides, you don't have any proof she took your money." "Yes, I do. I keep a ledger for every dollar I add. The total 3 days ago was X, now it's Y. $100 is missing. You know, she's stolen from me several times already. Plus, I know she spent all her allowance this month, yet you took her shopping yesterday. Where did she get that money?" Mom hesitated, then sneered. "You know what? You're grounded. Go to your room, or I'm getting the belt." I knew better than to argue further, so I went to my room and slammed the door. I pulled out my little brick Nokia phone and called my dad at work. He didn't pick up, so I left a message explaining everything. About an hour later, he called back and said he'd handle it. Not long after, I heard my mom yelling at Dad over the phone, trying to justify herself, but she never won arguments when she was in the wrong. Eventually, she screamed, "Fine, if she really took the money, then you can pay it back because she already spent it." Then she stormed into my room. "I can't believe you ratted me out, you little ingrate. After all I do for you, you couldn't just let a little money slide?" "So you admit my sister took it then?" Mom sneered. "You know what? I don't care. Girls need more money than boys. You should just be giving it to her anyway. It wasn't even that much. It wasn't just a little money, and you know it. She stole $100. Even if it was just $1, I'd still want it back. You wouldn't want someone stealing from your purse. It's no different if sis steals from me. My baby doesn't have to do anything. She is a princess and deserves to be treated like one. That isn't my problem. She can go be a princess away from me and away from my stuff. That's it, you little. I'm going to beat your ass." I stood up, eye to eye with her. At 14, I was already as tall as her and strong from all my outdoor work. "Go ahead and try it. I won't let you because I didn't do anything wrong." She froze, then let out a loud scream and swung her arm to knock something off my dresser. Instead, she hit the dresser itself. I imagine that hurt a lot. Grabbing her hand, she gave me a furious look before storming out. I heard her yelling and smacking the wall as she went downstairs, heading to her wine fridge to get drunk. My sister was watching from her bedroom door, horrified, before she fled back inside and slammed the door. Mom had always been her ace in the hole, but that was changing fast. A few hours later, my dad came home and marched my sister into my room. He made her admit to stealing from me, and I was officially ungrounded. My sister refused to look at me, whispering an apology until my dad made her say it loudly. Then, he gave me $100 to replace what she had stolen and told her she was grounded for a week. She started bawling and called him awful before running to her room. My mom, meanwhile, sat on the back patio drinking wine, pretending nothing had happened. She never apologized and acted like the situation never existed. A few days later, my dad bought me a combination safe to lock up my money. We didn't tell my mom or sister about it. Weeks later, I came home from mowing lawns to find my room ransacked. I confronted my mom. "Mom, did sis do this?" "My baby didn't do this." "Well, then did you?" "No, then it could only be one of you. This room was clean when I left, and no one else was here. Visibly annoyed at being caught, she scoffed. Fine, but if she did do it, then so what? You had it coming by not being nicer to her anyway. I called my dad and left a message. Then I went to my sister's room. I know you did this, but guess what? You can't get to my money anymore. It's locked in a safe. She threw a massive tantrum, and of course, my mom rushed to defend her. The next day, I found my room trashed again, but this time, my window was broken. My sister had hurled my safe out of it. I called my dad immediately. When both my parents got home, my sister proudly admitted to breaking my window. My mom actually tried to defend her, saying he shouldn't have gotten the safe in the first place. But my dad shut that down, saying he got it because he was tired of my sister stealing from me. Since my mom never reimbursed me, he always had to. We had to replace my window, and my dad installed a lock on my door. He also got me a combination key lockbox mounted on the wall to store my room key. My sister was grounded for a month, sulking in her room when Dad was home, but the moment he left, my mom let her do whatever she wanted. I didn't say anything because I knew they'd only make my life harder if I did. After her grounding ended, my sister resorted to begging me for money. I called her out on never saving anything. Just to be funny, I drew up an IOU to see if she'd sign it in front of Dad. Instead, she tore it up and ran crying to Mom, who tried to force me to give her money. I reminded her what Dad would do, so she backed off. After that, my mom tried to send me to military school, but my dad didn't let her. For those wondering why my dad didn't help me get a savings account, I don't really know. I guess cash savings was just how we did things back then. Shortly after my dad got me the safe, he also got me a deadbolt lock for my room, along with the wall-mounted lockbox, because my sister had thrown my safe through my window. We installed them together while my mom and sister weren't home. When my sister first walked by my room after coming back, I saw her look at the lock and then go running to get Mom. They both came storming up the stairs to be greeted by my dad and me. The following is paraphrased from what I remember. Mom snaps her fingers a few times and points. What the hell is that? A door lock. I know what it is. Why is it there? Because you never see fit to punish or stop our daughter from stealing from Qley or ransacking his room, so from now on, the lock stays. He's only 14, and this is my house. He can't have a lock on the door. No, this is our house, but last I checked, I paid most of the mortgage and the bills. You hardly pay anything, and I'm tired of you favoring our daughter so much that Qley keeps having to suffer for it. Mom, well then, I demand you tell me the code for the lockbox at least. Dad, I'm not doing that because you've shown I can't trust you anymore. Mom then blew her top and stormed down the stairs. My sister just stood there looking pouty and then slowly walked to her room. Things were good with the new lock, and it became habitual for me to lock it every time I left my bedroom. I saw my sister and mother staring at me on numerous occasions when I input the code to get the key, but I always made sure to use my hand or my body to block their line of sight. They really didn't like that, but there wasn't anything they could do about it. Then one day, late in the month, my sister came begging me for $40 to buy a video game she really wanted. Me, why do you keep coming to me to ask for money when you and I both know you'll never pay it back? Sis, I'll pay it back, I swear. No, you won't. You spend everything you have and then some each month, and you know you'd rather just spend all of your allowance than pay me back. It's what you always do. And no, I don't. Well then, how about we test that? I then went into my room, got a piece of paper and pen, and hand-wrote an IOU contract that stated Sis would pay me back the $40 upon getting her monthly allowance, and the IOU was to be co-signed by Dad as a witness. Always have a witness for contracts, folks. Sis read the paper, then started sniffling. She tore it in half and then ran crying to Mom. Yet again, it was what she did every single time she didn't get her way. Mom. What is it, my little princess? What did Qley do now? He wanted me to borrow money, so I asked her to sign an IOU in front of Dad. Then she freaked out. And why would you do that? She just wanted to borrow a little money. Would you sign the IOU as well to make sure she pays the money back? You little, I don't have to sign anything. Now just loan her the money. Not without a signed IOU. Mom stands up with her arm out like she's ready to hit me, then retracts it. You're just like your father. You have to have a paper trail for everything. I hate it. Me, walking up the stairs to my room. I'd say it's a good thing I'm just like Dad, because it's far better than being just like you, like Sis is, because you never do anything good. What was that, you little? She started storming up the stairs just as I got into my bedroom and locked it. Now, my mom had a habit of throwing open my bedroom door to yell at me. Back then, she did one sweeping motion of opening the door while lunging her body forward. At this time, I'd only had the lock on my door for a little while, so she wasn't used to it yet. I locked the deadbolt, and she tried to throw open my door and slammed right into it with a pretty loud thud. Then I heard her fall onto the floor and start making noises of crying in pain. She'd slammed her body and face against the door pretty hard. It was an old-fashioned style door made of solid wood, and it gave her a fat lip and a bump on the forehead. I opened the door, and she was sprawled out and pounding her fists on the floor. Mom, you did this to me, you little. Me, you did it to yourself. You are grounded. Get out of my sight. After that, I called Dad, and he just groaned over the phone about the whole situation. He said I wasn't grounded, but I was still in big trouble for goading her and to just let him deal with her when he got home. I ended up getting a stern lecture from Dad along with added chores and a reduction to my allowance that month. But that was about it. After that day, every time Sis asked me for money, I asked her to sign an IOU. She really didn't like that. A few days later, I found a pamphlet for a military school while sweeping grass off the back patio after mowing the lawn. It was on the ground under a chair near where my mom liked to sit and drink wine. I had a bad feeling she was cooking up some kind of crazy scheme, so I waited till my dad got home to show him what I'd found. Dad, honey, what's this? Mom goes white at the sight of the pamphlet. It's nothing. I've never seen it before. Really? Because if you were planning on trying to send Qley to military school, you know I wouldn't allow it. That's when Mom broke her facade and yelled, he needs to learn some discipline. He locks his door all the time, and I can't even spank him anymore because he's too big. This is the only way I have left to punish him for being a disobedient brat. Dad, Qley did nothing wrong when he stood up to you because of your stupid favoritism. If anything, our daughter is the brat because of you and the way you spoil her and let her get away with stealing from her brother. As far as I'm concerned, this discussion about sending Qley to military school is over. If you try to send him, then so help me. I'll bring the hammer down on you any way I can. A few more months later, it got out that my mother was having an affair with an old ex-boyfriend from high school. That was the last straw for my dad, and he filed for divorce. I went to live with him months later after he bought another house. The divorce sped up pretty quickly when my dad used the military school papers my mom had forged his signature on as evidence. On the day I left to live at Dad's new house, my sister stuck out her tongue at me and smugly said, Mommy told me that I'm a princess and the more deserving sibling, and that's the reason why you're leaving. I just shook my head and told her to think what she wants because I didn't care anymore. Then I walked out the door, finally feeling free as a bird. My relationship with my sister, when she came to visit Dad's house once a week, only got worse after that, until finally, we stopped talking altogether for years. And I didn't really care to visit Mom's house. She pretty much took over my old room for a home office anyway,